Hey everyone, it's Don again, Captain Cross Stitch here, coming to you on this dreary, uh, rainy Saturday, September 28th. Sorry about that. We're getting the outer remnants of that hurricane that's hitting the Carolinas pretty hard right now. I have family down there, and they're sending pictures, and the destruction is just ridiculous. It's a fairly mountainous area, so I'm kind of surprised at how much flooding there can be, but a lot of it is just roads being washed out, so they're just not used to having that much water, I suppose. Anyway, so it's today is Floss 2 video number 12, which means this is going to be my 1-year anniversary on FlossTube. The actual date is actually not until October 14th, but at the time I hadn't adopted a schedule that I use now, which is I try to do it around the first of the month or the first weekend of the month, depending on where they fall. So I'm making this my official 1-year anniversary. So since the last time, it's been a bizarre month, another one. But one thing that this time of year always brings me joy with is football. And I'm a Marylander, so my beloved Ravens have high hopes again this year. It seems like every year they usually have a really good season overall. They usually are, hell, they were the number 1 seed last year. But as recent years have shown, all roads to the Super Bowl run through Kansas City, and that Patrick Mahomes guy, who I can't stand, only because he's just that good, or at least he's in the right organization to make him look that good. I'll give him that. With the right people surrounding you, a lot of people can be seemingly better than they really are, but I'm not trying to take anything away from him. Anyway, so we'll see how they'll do this year. We're off to a shaky start, but I kind of blame that on the fact that they're slowly chipping away at preseason games. They're not important for the regular season as far as records go, but they are important for players to get into the rhythm of things and, get back to playing form. So maybe they've rounded that corner, and I hope they don't get into this habit of playing well all game and then letting teams hang around like they did in week 2 and having, Las Vegas ended up beating us in the final minute. And then Dallas almost came back and beat us. So we'll see what happens against Buffalo this weekend. That's a primetime game, Sunday night, 8:30 or whatever, 8 o'clock. So I'll be watching that. Anyway, okay, so you're not here for football. You're here for cross-stitching, And so let's check my Stitcher's Almanac for what transpired in the month of September. Started off pretty well. Worked on a few things in between football and presidential debates, if you want to call it that, and going to the movies, which I've started doing again, which I haven't been to movies in years, and all that. And then I'm also trying to pick up writing again. I've not been motivated much to do that, even though I have ideas percolating, weekly. I just haven't been motivated to do that, so I'm trying to force myself to do something, whatever, even if it's, a couple hours a week or whatever, whatever I can get done. So that's been taking up a little bit of time this last couple of weeks. And I've been under the weather again, not too severe this time, but all last weekend, with the exception of Saturday morning, thank God, because I had my stitching group. I didn't want to miss that. And I went, and I felt fine, but later that afternoon, boom, it hit me hard, and I was good. I was, in the bed, like, out until Sunday afternoon, early evening. I don't know what it was, but I didn't like it. But anyway, so as a whole, I didn't get a whole lot of work done. Again, it's like back-to-back months. So anyway, I decorated pages for October. I got some nice, cute fall things, and we got some leaves and a couple birds in a tree, and howling colored moth. The eyes watching you. It's like, I got a thing for eyes. I'll show you my bag. I have a cool bag my sister bought me for my birthday last year. And pumpkin, and then lady with a pumpkin and a cat, and then an owl on the pumpkin. So hopefully I'll get to fill that up with some fun, interesting things, Halloween and fall things, this coming month. Because Monday is the last day of September 30th, which happens to be my best friend Jeff's birthday. So happy birthday, Jeff. He lives in Austin, Texas. Okay, so what else? All right, so let's get to the whip portion of our show. All right, so the first thing, and I'll show you my trusty bag with the eye on it. Ooh, it's the all-watching eye. People say that's supposed to be like an evil omen or something, maybe in ancient times, I don't know. I know it's on the back of the $1 bill, on that pyramid. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. drinking some flavorless flavored water. I saw this at Wegmans. It's Wegmans brand. It's called Wonder Water. I'm wondering where the flavor is because it's supposed to be pineapple. No flavor at all. I mean, no flavor at all. It's just water. I mean, there might be a microscopic hint of pineapple in there, but my God, to actually call it pineapple, no, that's a crime. So I'm just drinking water. Nasty. All right, so the first thing up I'm going to show you is actually not, it's a whip, but it's not one that I've actually worked on yet. I'll explain. So I got this mailed to me back when I went to Grace Notes retreat back in August. Friends of mine, we decided we wanted to do a round robin, so I handed off a project to some people there, and when the retreat ended, they took it home with them and worked on it, and then they mailed it back to me. So so it's something I have to finish, but it has been worked on. So this is called Patriotic Quaker by Lindsay Waite of Primrose Cottage. And there's what it looks like finished as a pillow. I just love that, and the colors are awesome. So I got to do the one I wanted, which was great, or pick the one I wanted, I should say. And this was worked on by 3 of my friends. This was worked on by the lovely Dana Bearden and the wonderful Trudy. I'm gonna forget her last name and she'll kill me when she sees this. Sorry, Trudy. And her daughter Cindy Fortner, I believe, but that's not Trudy's name, showing in my bald head. Anyway, so there's the 3. So Trudy did the big central design here. And then Dana did, Dana did this top corner, and then Sydney did this bottom design. So you all did a wonderful job, ladies. I love it. I can't wait to finish it. And I got that stored, and that's done on, what is that done on? It's on 14 count. Drat, I'm gonna forget. I want to say it's like slate or something like that, but that's not the right name. It's a Grace Notes fabric. I'll get it figured out when I show it next month, when I actually do some work on it. And it's in a bag we got. This was I believe it was a retreat exclusive bag, project bag from Black Cat X Stitchery. So you can see it's got the line, plastic front and or vinyl, I shouldn't say plastic. And the inside of the bag has got the little scissors, and then the back of the bag has got different things, little artsy things, spools and paintbrushes and yarn and the little flowers and stuff. She makes great bags. One of the things I actually worked on if I can find so this is called Founding Promises from Silver Creek Samplers. It's a nice simple design, patriotic, which I love. And I had finished the word freedom and started on the flag. Freedom! And that's done on 14 count snickerdoodle from Grace Notes fabric. And this is also a Black Cat X Stitchery bag that I got at Retreat in 2023. Very cool bag. Next is, I really need to get a picture of this. I'm going to have to find them. There's no actual picture of the finished design, so I can only show you what I've done. But this is the Palestinian tiles, and I'm doing this on it's either Charles Craft or Swigard or something like that. It's a opalescent fabric, 14 count. But I did get some work done on it, on this section, this column here. Fill this in and worked on the black outline. So yeah, making a little bit of progress on that. There's still a ton to do on that. And that came out of a World of Cross Stitch magazine. I forget. Yeah, I'm not sure. It was I think it was summer of 2023, sometime in there, I think. And that's also in a Black Cat X Stitchery bag. You can't really see. The lining is just kind of pale blue with plants, and then there's moths on it. Okay. Let's see. All right, my big project that I've been working on, of course, is the Joan Elliott Crescent Moon Dragon, which I'm always trying to get. I basically make this my every Saturday project. So There's the dragon. So it's got lots of krynic, lots of beads, lots of color. But I'm starting to make some decent progress on it. So, as you can see, I've started coming up, filling in the neck area, and starting to come around to the head of the dragon. So, yeah, making decent progress, I think. Plugging away at it. I really enjoy working on that. So, yeah, two Saturdays ago, my wife and I held a crafting day. Where the community where we live, our HOA pays for, we have like a small rec center, if you will. It's a small building which sits atop a hill, and then the lower level behind it is our community pool, you know. And then there's tennis courts next to the pool area. So pre-COVID, we used to hold these events all the time. You know, every couple of months we would have a day, a crafting day. For us who are upstanding, paid up in our dues, HOA people, as long as we open the event to the community, we don't have to pay a fee to rent the place out for the day or however long. So that's what we do. We put up flyers, we put stuff on social media and whatnot. And, you know, we bring stuff for people if they don't have something and they want to try something. We try to bring a variety of crafts, you know, in addition to the things that we love to do, which my wife is the scrapbooker, so she brings scrapbooking stuff. I bring stitching stuff, but I also bring diamond art, and I bring coloring stuff for people. I mean, we recommend that people bring their own stuff so they can make sure they have something to do that they themselves enjoy doing. But if we have something or can offer up something for people to try for the first time, then, you know, we bring it and it's free for people to try. And almost pretty much every time, if we've had people come, I bring extra stuff and I just give people stuff for them to work on, and then if they enjoy it, I let them take it home with them, and they can just enjoy it at home. And then, you know, it's just a way to get people interested in doing a craft of some kind, and we enjoy doing it. And then so anyway, I worked on my dragon then, and then also the next one I'm going to show you, I worked on as well at the crafting day. And then I keep my dragon project in my dragon bag. And it's hard to see, but the lining has a bunch of dragons on it. I got my little dragon zipper pull. And the bag was made by Pinky Promises on Etsy. So check her stuff out. It's really high quality, really embroidered bag. Well worth the money. And that was stitched on 14 count Sarah from Grace Notes Fabric. Alright, so last time on my thing where I rolled the die to see what bonus project I might work on, I didn't have stuff handy or whatever. I don't remember the reason why, but I didn't roll it during the video. But I rolled a 6, which means new start. Woohoo! So my new start was, if I can get it out here, was the White Winter Moth by Kathy Barrick. I had kitted this up just recently, and she's got this particular model stitched on some kind of tan-ish khaki colored linen, I believe. That's what it looks like. But I wanted something a little darker, a little more wintry looking, since it is called Winter Moth. So I'm stitching mine on, if I can get it off the magnet here. Drat. So this is on 14 count Mestasa by Grace Notes Fabric. And there's my start. So you got your antennae. And starting on some of the wing design down here, and there's the body of the moth. So I wanted to see, it's kind of a mottled bluish gray color. And there's the other colors. Not a lot of colors involved in this project, so which I kind of like the simplicity of that. And I'm storing this in my my kind of hot pinkish butterfly bag by Shiva Designs. From she's out of Canada, and she makes really beautiful bags. She always has very interesting fabrics, and she's got her dandy little charms on there. She's got the Canadian maple leaf and a little doggy paw print, so that's cute. Alright, so those were my whips, including one new start. So, like I said, various reasons pulled my attentions away this past month, or this current month, I guess I should say. Alright. Well, this might be a fairly short video. I'm thinking maybe only an hour instead of 2 hours with my usual, because I have no haul whatsoever, not a single piece. Isn't that bizarre? Money has been tight right now. It just has been, for whatever reason. I'm trying to stay on top of bills and making sure things get paid off and that kind of thing. And money's tight because everything is friggin' expensive. Everything. I mean, you can't. Even like the simplest food. You used to be able to go to, you used to be able to go to Subway and get 2 6-inch subs and chips and maybe even a drink for, I don't know, $20 maybe. Now it's like almost 30. It's crazy. So I'm hoping the guy this election gets the right man in office, if you know what I mean. And hopefully that'll help rectify things. Well, we got a month to go to figure that out. All right. So no haul. Future plans. Okay, so last month I had one of my future plans was to work on the Siberian owl that I showed last month. I can show it again. So that was to be the project I was going to start in honor of my mother, who's been gone now for almost 5.5 years. And I have everything I need except the fabric. I thought I had a piece, and it turns out it was too small. I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm going to have to figure out a new plan for fabric. My wife wants to take me to an L&S about an hour away from here for my birthday next month. Well, not next month. Beginning of November. Day before Election Day, November 4th. So we may do that. Maybe I'll pick up a piece. So the plans for the owl at least are on the back burner for now. Sorry, folks. Sorry, Mom. All right, so other future plans. All right. This next announcement is for you, Hannah Dowling. That's right. So for my anniversary of 1 year on FlossTube, which will be October 14th, I will officially start my first full coverage piece. And that was the Waterfall Dragons, which I've shown in previous videos. I'm not gonna go dig it out. But so I'm gonna start it. So stay tuned to see my little micro stitching and to see how much of a headache will it be. or not. Maybe I'll enjoy it. I don't know. I'm trying to go into it with an open mind. I got to make sure I have some kind of magnifier in place before I start that, because I'm going to need it. I mean, it's 28 count, easy grid, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, so that'll be my anniversary start. So Hannah, if you're at the next Enablers meeting on the third Saturday of October, I'll have it with me. I'll bring it with me so you can see it and get all giddy and goofy. Love that girl. Now, potential other starts. I have like start mania apparently in my blood these days, but I have so many interesting projects I want to start, because if I don't start them, what's the point in owning them? So anyway, so for Halloween, believe it or not, I have no Halloween projects going at this time. So I think for Halloween that night, whatever day of the week that is, I think it might be a Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. I'm gonna have a new start. So I have 3 different designs, maybe 4. I can't remember. So I think I showed all of these in my last video, or one of my last videos, because I had gotten the fabric kitted for a lot of cool projects. One is the Midnight Enchanter, the wizard with the charms. The other is something about midnight. It was the Halloween fairy sitting on a pumpkin. It was a French design. I can't remember who it is right off the top of my head. If I have it handy, I'll have to dig for it for a second. Yeah, let me grab those, because that's going to bug me. It's just right there. I can just grab it. One moment, please. Yeah, so here's the Midnight Enchanter. There's the fabric. Ooh, midnight. And then, oh yeah, okay, now I remember. The other one is Beauty and the Beast from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And there's the fabric for that. That's another. I'm not gonna revisit all my fabric choices at this time, because why do things have to be so difficult? Then the Autumn Garden by the Drawn Thread. Oh yeah, and it was called Midnight Hour, which is Tempting Tangles Designs. And then there's my fabric for that. I think it was Heard It Through the Grapevine, First Notes Fabrics. Okay, so that's another, so one of those four will be a Halloween start, and then for my bonus week of stitching, because there's 5 weeks in October, roundabout. I'm gonna, so my focus pieces that I'm gonna stitch on for the month are my dragon, my new start, the winter moth, the Bella Filipina Bellatrix design that I showed you in the past, and then the Symphony of Friendship from Cottage Garden Samplings. I showed you that in the past as well. I haven't worked on it though since the retreat. So then the bonus week, as determined by the die, could potentially give me another new start, which would be one of those remaining 4 of the 4 designs I just showed you. So maybe I'll get 2 of those in. Let's do that now, shall we? So for the bonus week, I have on my list these are all the same ones I've had on here for a while. The Unicorn Mandala. I really hope I roll that one of these times, because I want to dig it out and show you guys what I'm talking about, because I have it buried in a box in the other room. And it's a cool design. I don't know why I haven't really worked on it, but it's just one of those things, I guess. My Stegosaurus, the Palestinian tiles, which I showed you a minute ago. The Key to My Heart, the Valentine one from Tempting Tangles Designs. The second in the quilt series, which I have one of the finished designs behind me, or the first one behind me, and then of course a new start. So let's see what I get. Okay, something different. I rolled a 2, so that's going to be the dinosaur, the Stegosaurus, which is really, it's so close to being done, but what's left to be done is like this big giant block of color. So it's a little boring. That's the only reason I haven't already finished it, because it's just like, oh my God, I'm so sick of shades of green. But anyway, all right, so that'll be it. So let me mark that off that I rolled a 2, so I don't forget. All right, so what I got left for you today, it's we're about 45 minutes in, that's good, is I want to take a few minutes to spotlight a designer And I've talked about them on and off over the past year, and I've mentioned them already at least once today in this video. Tempting Tangles Designs. I honestly don't recall how I ever got onto them in the first place, or when that was, but I'll just jump right in, I guess. So the company released its first designs in 2009. So they've been around for about 15 years, which is pretty good. The lady that's the sole proprietor and sole designer is a lady named Deborah Dick, and she's, like I said, she's been putting out designs since 2009. You can, I'm going to show you some of her stuff, but it to me is mind-blowing how one person can be so prolific in creating cross-stitch designs. I mean, they do, the company does so much, and the variety is just all over the place. And it's kind of hard to decide where to start. So what kind of led me to wanting to spotlight them? Not that I wouldn't anyway, but I buy many sals by them, and if you don't know what that is, that's a stitch along or start along, depending on your definition. But when you do that, you join these various Facebook groups that are, and Tempting Tangles is on there, and you can ask questions about them and their designs and whatnot. But each time you join a sal, the way they do it is, then they have you join a Facebook group where the sal is like released in parts over time, and they make the files available in the Facebook group, so that way you basically download them from there. But the reason I got on this trail to spotlighting them, Deborah had actually contacted me, and not for the reason you might think, like she didn't become aware of my floss tube, which would have been, I think, the more natural way for her to have contacted me. But she contacted me because she was intrigued by the fact that I had written a book. And I was like, yeah, that's true, I did. And she's like, well, I'm loving it. So I'm like, great. I'm always happy that people find me and, get my book, and hopefully they enjoy it. It's totally a one-man operation at total amateur hour, so it has its issues. It's not, the only professional thing about it is the cover. I did pay to have that design, so it looks really good, and I'm hoping that it's unorthodox, I think, in how it's written. So and it has technical mistakes, spelling errors and verb tense problems. And I ran it through a program that was supposed to debug all that for me, but it did a crappy job apparently. So anyway, she reached out to me and I said, oh, by the way, I do, I am a stitcher, but I'm also a floss tube creator. So she joined my group, and I'm guessing she's been watching my videos. If she is, and she gets to number 12, hey, Deborah. So anyway, I wanted to spotlight them as much as I can. I can't get into everything because we'd be here for several hours if I were to show you just the amazing variety. So what I would suggest is you should go to her website, temptingtangles.com, I guess, and just check out her designs. They have, like I said, a huge variety. And I'm going to show you some that I have, just to give you an idea of a few things, but it's amazing stuff. So anyway, she was so kind as to let me bother her in her busy schedule of being a designer and a businesswoman to answer some questions. I had asked her some questions about the company and how she went about designing and who all was involved, and that was when I learned the amazing thing that she is the sole designer. She literally designs every one of the things you'll see if you go to their website. Just, to me, that's mind-blowing that one person can do all that. You do amazing work. But and like I said, they do a number of sales all year. They do several different kinds. They usually have a Christmas one of some kind, and they have several different ones that it's like a series. But anyway, I'll show you some of those. I took the liberty of snapping a few photographs just so you can get an idea. Let's see. Okay, so they had 3 releases for the month of September, which one is called Santa's Kitties. The other is called Clara, which is part of their Nutcracker series. And then one called the Easter Egg Twirl. So I'll show you that. I just have one picture for all 3. So those are all sales that they release in September. And then just to give you an idea of, these are all ones that are about to end. One is called Sapphires and Sunshine. One called This Too Shall Pass. The other one is called Brewing Magic. And then Every Woman Deserves a Crown. Again, one picture for everything. And I mean, she has, and she also, and she has a relationship with the Floss company called Dinky Dyes. She is very good friends with the owner of that company, and her name is Kathy Floss, and they took she has a good relationship with her because their business model allows for her to release these patterns as PDFs, which I don't know if for some reason she had a problem with Etsy. I'm not sure what that difficulty was. I don't know if it was just a technical thing or what have you, but she moved on to Dinky Dyes because they have a wholesale distribution process, which Deborah can avail herself of. Plus, using her Dinky Dyes threads, her floss, gives an added touch to the what she puts out. So anyway, I'm going to show you a few things that I have personally bought, and then because I think I showed you one of the latest sales in one of my previous videos, the Smog from Lord of the Rings, and that's in the middle of the release schedule, I believe. So I have a few things. Let me grab those. These are some older things that used to be sales, but so when a sale is complete, she'll then release the project as a complete project that you can buy online. And then it's charted differently so that it's kind of more traditional and not divided up into so many pieces. Okay. And several of these I really need to break out and kit and get started on them because they're just beautiful. So some of my personal favorite. So I love Quaker style stuff. So her Quaker series, Quakers in various places around the world, are just perfection. I mean, I can't say enough. And Deborah, I hope someday I get to meet you, because I want to have you sign my printed patterns. So this is called Quakers in France. I love the bicycles around the sun. That's just so cool. I love her little whimsical stuff. This is Quakers in England. And you can see she puts some of the landmark style things that you would see in each country, like the other one had the Eiffel Tower. This has got, you can see the red phone box, and then the double-decker bus, and the Big Ben, the bridge over there, I forget what it's called. This is Quakers in Japan. So beautiful. This one I started to kit up, but this is Quakers in Holland. There's also my favorite one, which I bought and I obviously have downloaded, but I never printed it out yet. Called Quakers in Scandinavia. Let's see, let me see if there's... Oh yeah, there's, and there's also Quakers in Scotland. And Quakers in Italy. So she has, like I said, quite a few in that series. This, I think I've showed this one before. This is Shamrock for Luck. It's like a monochrome stitch. This will be a neat companion to the Key to My Heart that I'm working on. I kind of forgotten. I told you I haven't touched these in a while. Oh, okay. So I have a picture of that, because I'm not going to show you. I can't show you the chart, but I'll show you what I started. This was a mystery sow called Sempre Avanti, or Sempre Avanti. So yeah, beautiful stuff. I mean, I can't say enough, really cannot say enough nice things about the company. And just the variety of stuff. So one of the things I had asked Deborah, I said, you know, with all the variable things that she comes up with, I was like, what's your inspiration? And she said, just everyday life, whatever, you know, pops into her head or whatever she said she, you know, lives in the country, you know, in a, I guess, a outdoorsy kind of region, you know, mountainous maybe. So she has a very nice working environment, to, you know, with the outdoors right there. And so, yeah. And she gets inspiration and ideas from some of her friends and people that she talks to. This was a sow as well that I had. It was Springtime Mandala, I think is what it was called. I got a fair amount. I got like a third of it done. It's so pretty and colorful. You remember that one, Deborah? So anyway, like I said, go to check out their website. They have something for everybody. If you can't find something that floats your boat, you might want to check for a pulse, because I don't know why you can't. And, you know, she has sampler style stuff. She's got Americana, you know, nursery rhymes, you know, just everything, anything you can think of. I mean, it's just amazing, like I said. All right, so that's all I have for Tempting Tangles. So do me a favor and go check them out if you haven't already. What are you waiting on? Deborah, I'm sure I'll talk to you again at some point. Maybe if I have further questions, I'll send you an email. All right, so that pretty much ends the cross-stitch portion of my video. So if you're a new time viewer, I thank you for coming by, and I hope you will subscribe and give me a thumbs up. If you're a current subscriber and you're watching, I thank you again for coming back for more. You're a glutton for punishment. Now for the other fun stuff that I like to talk about. Which would be just a few things, not a whole lot. So like I said earlier in my video, so it seems like I'm starting to see movies again that are of an interest to me. I went with a good friend of mine, Jason. He won't ever watch this, so sorry. He won't check it out. But anyway, he and I went to see the latest Alien movie, Alien Romulus. If you're a fan of the franchise, this is a much needed boost in the arm. Not that Prometheus and I always forget the name of the other one. I can't remember. The Ridley Scott stuff is all good. Let me tell you, I love that man. But some of the earlier stuff kind of ruined the franchise. So this is a good entry. Chronologically in the story, this takes place after the original first movie, Alien from 1979, but before Aliens from 1984, I believe. So yeah, story-wise, that's when it takes place. In fact, the premise of the whole film starts off with, and I'm not ruining anything by saying this, spoiler alert if you don't want to hear it, but it's not really a spoiler. The alien that Sigourney Weaver blasted out of the airlock at the end of the first movie with the harpoon gun, somebody recovers that alien carcass, and that's all I'm going to say. As you know, Weyland-Yutani is involved, so whenever the company is involved, bad things ensue. But it was really good. They did a pretty good job. It got a little goofy at the end, I felt. I wish they would stop trying to humanize the alien offspring So in Alien 4, if you recall, there was an alien that the clone, I think it was a clone Sigourney Weaver body, gave birth to an alien, if I remember correctly. I may be screwing this up, but it was like it was like a giant alien baby, and it was horrible, and it looked stupid. Well, there's a little more of that towards the end. I don't want to say anything more, but that part was a little disappointing. I think they tried to do too much. I think there was a point where they could have ended it, and they should have, and they just took it a step too far. That's just my opinion. But anyway, saw that. It's pretty good. Also, it was also the 25th anniversary of The Matrix. 1999. Man, where did those 25 years get to? Anyway, so they had a limited run of putting The Matrix back on the big screen. For those of you who didn't see it the first time and wanted to have that experience, it was out with a little added kind of nothing extra little video at the beginning. I think they should have done something more. They could have at least tried to film something with Keanu, at least, give you something, not, what they ended up doing. So it was a little boring, and there was like nobody in the theater when I went. It was like maybe 10 of us. So, but I wanted to see it. I wanted to kind of pay homage to it myself, even though I did see it originally in the theater, without knowing anything about it, which was cool. That movie blew my mind when I saw it back in '99, and because there was a lot of themes in there, especially elements of Philip K. Dick, the science fiction writer. So much so I ran home. And this was pre-cell phones, or at least I didn't have one. So I ran home, drove home, and called one of my best friends, and I said, "Dave, you got to go see this movie, man." He wasn't really much of a moviegoer. I said, "This movie will change your life," and it still, makes you think. It really makes you think, because what if those ideas were real? Could you imagine? There's scientific theory that says that's could exactly be possible. That what I'm doing right now isn't real. That it's just a computer program making my brain think it's real. And I'm actually just a warm body for aliens to use for their own nefarious purposes, whatever that might be. Makes you think. Anyway, and then going back to the alien thing. So the guy I went with, Jason, he's a big time horror aficionado, and he has a channel on YouTube called Horrific Nightmares. Go check it out if you want to see reviews about horror films or what have you. Him and some other his friends, horror friends, talk about stuff. But anyway, we saw in the lobby of the theater, they had these video screens showing upcoming releases. And one of them is for a movie called Terrifier 3, coming out in October. I cannot wait for that. That is going to be so amazingly crazy, I'm sure. The first one, which is actually the first full film based off of a character that was in another film called All Hallows Eve. And the character is known as Art the Clown. It's a clown, killer clown character, slasher, whatever killer. The costume's black and white, and he never says a word. And he is horribly good at killing people in really horrific ways, let me tell you. But anyway, in the end, there's a little bit of a, what do you call it? There's an element of something else. I'm trying to think of the word. Anyway, so I saw one first, then I saw All Hallows Eve because I didn't know it existed, and then I saw 2. 2 was a little crazy. I thought it was a little all over the place. I think he had a bit more money for the second one, because the first one was definitely low budget, but it was still great. So I think he had more money for the second one, so I was thinking maybe the guys who wrote it, I'm not sure what they were trying to do, but they were all over the place, and it felt disconnected. The word I was thinking of was supernatural. It has like a supernatural element that becomes evident at the end of the first movie. And it's, of course, evident again in the second film. The second film has a lot better elements, and it's a lot better made film. And the effects are off the chart. I mean, they were ridiculously good. And if you decide to see them, I will forewarn you, they are not kind to women. So if you have a problem with that, you definitely don't want to watch these movies, because they F these women up pretty badly. But anyway, so 3's coming out next month. So I'm looking forward to seeing how things continue, because I actually went to a horror convention last year. Yeah, it was last year. And all the actors from the second movie were there, so I got to meet them, and it was really cool to see them out of makeup. But a lot of them returned for the third movie, and some of a couple of them were kids. So they've actually grown up a fair amount in the time since that film was made. So it'll be interesting to see story-wise what they do with the characters. What are they trying to achieve story-wise. So I look forward to that. All right, so that's it for movies. A couple of months ago, we had to buy a new car, and it came with XM radio, which I'm loving. I listen to channel 33, which is called First Wave. I'm an 80s music guy, so 80s on 8 is fine, but they play just more of the more recognizable hits of the people from the 80s. But I like the more of the album tracks from the 80s, or groups that don't get the popular airplay that existed in the 80s, you know. So channel 33 is more my thing. So I've been loving that, and it's gotten me excited about going to see some bands, because they said that Simple Minds has announced that they're going to do a North American tour. I haven't seen any city listings yet for that, but they're on my bucket list of 80s bands I would just die to see. And I've watched some of their live concerts on YouTube. They just had one in France, in Lyon, recently, which was amazing. So I'm hoping they come somewhere close to where I live, Baltimore. So we'll see. What else? Okay, my last thing, we're at an hour 20, is I'm big into comic books, as you know, and I've been reading a ton of stuff, and I just wanted to go over some stuff that I'm not going to show you all this stuff, obviously. Some things that I got to read up and coming. First thing, I just picked this up yesterday. It's called Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. This is issue 1. I think it's of 10. So there's been a couple of these series written by Jeff Loeb and made famous by him and Tim Sale. Tim Sale passed away, I think, last year, maybe. I can't remember exactly when. But anyway, this is, I think, maybe they had something planned, and if, you know, they couldn't finish it because he died. I'm not sure the workings of that, but looking forward to that. Let's see. I just read the first 2 issues of this series, Phoenix from Marvel. It's about the character Phoenix, Jean Grey, Phoenix, aka Jean Grey of the X-Men. This has been really good. I love Marvel's sci-fi space-faring characters, the stuff that takes place on, you know, with the Black Order and Thanos, and, you know, the Kree and the Skrulls and all that. Nova Corps. I love all that shit. Sorry. So that's been good. A new series that's just starting, Predator, because, you know, since Marvel and 20th Century Studios are both owned by Disney, so naturally they're going to put Marvel and their 20th Century characters like Predator and Aliens together. So Black Panther gets to duke it out with Predator. So that's got to be good. I did read the first 2 issues of Jason Aaron's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles new launch. And so far, that's been really good. It's kind of like, I guess, taking place sometime after the previous series ended at issue 150. And apparently the turtles have all scattered to the four corners of the universe. I don't know if that's literal, at least four corners of the earth. So we'll see how that continues. But it started off with Raphael being in prison. Apparently he's trying to do one of those undercover jobs, you know, where he's a prisoner, pretending to be a prisoner, but he's really undercover. And then he gets framed for the murder of somebody, and yeah, it's been good. Ultimate Black Panther, that's been really good. Last issue had a fill-in artist, which wasn't as good as it has been, because it started off with Stefano Caselli was the artist, and his stuff is really good. The series has been up to par as part of the Ultimate Universe. So, and same with Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man. That's been really good. All the Ultimate books, like I said in the past, with the exception of Ultimate X-Men, I can't get into that. And then Ultimates. Now, the latest Marvel Previews magazine has something in it. There's going to be a one-shot issue that's culminated from 1 year into the relaunch of the Ultimate Universe, and then I guess in there they're going to announce 2 new Ultimate character releases that'll be out in end of this year, or no, I guess it'll be 2020, sometime in 2025. So I'm curious to see who it's gonna be. Let's see, do I have anything else in here worth? I got a lot of stuff to read, so the Batman, the Kryptonian Age has still been good. That's up to issue 4. That's Victorian Age, 1860s to around just before the turn of the century. DC Universe. It's been really good. Trying to think. Andy Diggle is writing that, so that's been really good. The Spectacular Spider-Man. That's been really good. They created a really cool character called Knave, which was in the last issue, but they, at least for the moment, it seems like it was a mechanical construct of some kind that but it destroyed itself because it was trying to understand the difference between being a villain and a hero, and it thought somehow being a villain was better, at least initially, but then it learns something that made it doubt itself, so it kind of destroyed itself, thinking, well, its own logic was flawed. So it just kind of... So anyway, that's all I got. So we're hour and 30. Not quite as long as the last couple, but certainly long enough. So I'm going to sign off this and get this uploaded. My battery's just about dead, so I'm going to have to go plug it in. But I'll see you all next time, and hopefully I'll get some stitching done this month. Woohoo! Definitely got to get some reading done. That's a pile of comics I got to read. All right. Until next time, Captain Cross Stitch signing off. Take care and keep on stitching.